Now, in a week's time, next Wednesday, the 23rd of March, Chancellor Rishi Sunak delivers his spring statement. Usually billed as a sort of mini-budget, this year's effort will, in my view, be the most important financial speech that we've seen in the House of Commons for almost 15 years, since the global financial crisis of 2008. Why? Because the UK is in the midst of a cost of living squeeze, which was serious before Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, but the resulting East-West economic war, as the West has moved to block Russian fuel and food exports, has seen prices spiral, with millions of families now feeling the squeeze, and the Chancellor will have to respond. Sunak faces some extremely tough questions ahead of next Wednesday's statement. Should he scrap the impending rise in national insurance for both employers and employees? More help for hard-pressed families and firms as prices surge. But one of the Chancellor's most difficult choices is what to do about defence spending. This conflict's brought into sharp focus the decline in the scale and scope of Britain's armed forces. Accounting for inflation, in fact, defence spending, while set to rise slightly this year, then drops in 2023 and 2024, part of a long-term trend. Back in the mid-50s, 10 years after the Second World War, UK defence spending still accounted for 8% of GDP, or our entire economy. The NHS was then less than half that, at 3% of GDP. Since then, defence spending's plunged as health spending has surged. The NHS budget's now £164 billion, almost 4 times more the £42 billion spent on defence. So will the Chancellor now spend more on the UK's armed forces? If he does, will NHS spending have to fall? These are serious times, and serious times pose very tough choices. And that's our On the Money question today. Can Rishi Sunak afford not to spend more on defence?